Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of SEO BS, baby. In this episode, we're going to talk about and a lot about marketing agencies and marketing companies. One of the things what I don't like about marketing agencies and marketing companies, not even companies, but even marketing departments. I'm talking about marketing as a whole here. Lots of times I pick on a lot of marketing agencies and stuff like that. Not all marketing agencies are bad. It's just like with any career, any business. You have some good ones and bad ones, some good eggs and bad eggs in there. But when you look at marketing overall, even marketing departments inside marketing companies, one of the big things that I find, especially when I interview, because lots of times I do a lot of interviews, I still do, SEO for clients, SEO for companies, people interview me. Sometimes I apply to jobs and stuff like that. They kind of really keep my interviewing skills more accurate, and sometimes that way it pretty much keeps me in touch with the industry as well. Sometimes when you don't interview hardly, sometimes it's easy to get out of touch with verbiage and what's popular nowadays and stuff like that, actually inside a company, inside the employee setting or the employee mind. But one of the things I find when I'm interviewing, and it's kind of across the board with marketing agencies, companies, marketing departments, is they tend to kind of go after, even though they're looking for the most experienced, okay, but they tend to kind of go after the cheapest person. And that's what kind of been saying, kind of preaching about kind of this whole time is lots of times, yes, maybe somebody knows the semantics of the job. Yes, what I mean by semantics, they're kind of tech savvy, they can figure out how to do it, but there's no really deep experience because they have no experience. They're just kind of tech savvy. They can figure out how to do it, but they don't really have any other experience besides that. And that's why I kind of really find they're looking for the cheapest person. So lots of times when I interview, right away, it's kind of like, what salary are you looking for? Now, I already know they're trying to, it's kind of, kind of get me out, kind of see who fits their salary. Lots of times I flip it right back to them and say, well, what's your budget for the position? Then they flip it back to me and say, well, we're just going to hire on experience, which is pretty much BS. They're just looking for the cheapest person to get the job done. And, that's kind of the whole huge issue with marketing in general. Marketing in general, I don't know why, that they tend to hire not qualified people. They tend to hire interns. Lots of times, most of your employees or half of your employees inside a marketing department, and that goes marketing agencies, are interns. Okay, either they're interns coming out of college, or they're in college as an appropriate intern. That's what we think as far as an intern nowadays, is like they're in college, they're doing some type of marketing degree or computer science degree, computer programming or SEO, something like that. They're in a degree field, and they're an intern to kind of learn more hands-on about the industry. That's an appropriate intern. But that's changing, nowadays, and it's been changing for the last, at least 5 years as far as what I've seen, is especially this is popular. I can only talk about Los Angeles, California, because, I've lived in Los Angeles for 15 years. So I can really only talk about, Los Angeles. I can't really go across globe. I can't really go in different states, how they do it. But really what's popular in Los Angeles is, I don't really know. It's probably not illegal. It's probably not legal. I didn't say illegal, but it's probably not legal because they look for interns, even if you're not in college or a college program. Sometimes they try to get away with intern positions, non-paid interns, you're not even in college, which that is illegal. To be an intern and be a non-paid intern, you have to be in a college program. That's one. And the second thing they kind of try to do with these marketing departments is that they hire an intern, but it's not an intern what you think they are. It's just they're young. Maybe they went to college, maybe they didn't. Maybe they just graduated high school or they graduated college. It could be either or. But there's just an intern inside a marketing department and they have no experience in marketing. They don't have a degree in it. They didn't go to school for it. They're not taking classes in it. They're not in a college program. It's just, they just call it an intern position. Yes, they pay you. They usually pay you minimum wage in LA, but that's it. Like there's no background. You're just an intern. So that's what I mean with these marketing agencies, marketing departments that's working on your stuff, working on your business. Most of the time they give it to an intern, which don't have no experience literally at all. They might be tech savvy. So if I tell them, hey, set up a Facebook ad, they can set up the ad. They have no experience running the ad. They have no experience, how to scale your ad. They have no experience how to split test your ad. They have no experience how to literally copyright and sales copy your ad. They have no experience of that, but they can set everything up as far as the semantics of the job, the semantics of running an ad. Okay, and that seems to me in the job setting, that seems to be that's been kind of popular the last 3, 4, 5 years, is that companies just care about the semantics. They really don't care about the actual experience you can bring to the marketing department. They don't care about the experience you can bring to the actual clients and clientele. When I get into a conversation inside the interview about doing the best thing for clients, I'm dealing with them one-on-one. I'm dealing with them either in person or on a Zoom call or a Zoom interview. And you can really see, you're talking to the CEO or the director or the COO, you can really see their eyes just gloss over when you start talking about doing the best thing for clients. It's the same thing when you say, I want to do the best thing for my employees. It all becomes political at that point. Sounds good to talk about, but if the company you work for really cares about their employees or not, if they really care about their clientele or not. So that's the issue, is most of these agencies, most of these companies that's working on clientele, they're telling you, we hire experts. Well, how can you hire experts when you're trying to pay the cheapest salaries? With the cheapest salary, you're not going to hire no expert whatsoever. Okay, unless somebody just needs a job. Okay, if I just need a job, say I haven't had money coming in for a few months, I might take it, but then again, I'm going to bounce because somebody's going to offer me something higher a month down the road, a couple months down the road. So, so you kind of have to think about that. How can they be so much of an expert when they're an intern? How can they be so much of an expert when they have 1 or 2 years of experience? How, especially when you're talking about marketing, digital marketing, SEO, how to build your company. How can you be an expert when the people working on your file, the people working on your business, but they've never created a business. They've never ran a department. They never built a department. They never built a brand. They never built an account. They never worked with startups, or at least be in an environment where they're at least around it. They have none of that experience. And, it's such a shame what's going on in the industry across the board, especially, the last 5 years when, companies, I'm going to talk about, everything. Been talking about everything, by the way, but now with, agencies, marketing companies, marketing departments and companies, lately what's popular, even marketing departments and companies will have maybe a handful of clients that they just get by word of mouth. They're not really an agency, a marketing agency, but they have maybe a handful of external clients that they just get by a word of mouth, and they end up, throwing it to the marketing department to manage their marketing for certain clientele. But it's the same thing. It's this, you're giving it to a department that maybe the VP of marketing has experience, but it's not the VP that's actually working on your stuff and getting stuff done for you. They give it to your interns or people with 1 or 2 years of experience. And that's what I've always been, really preaching about and sharing is, if you have a company, if you have a business, you're an entrepreneur. No matter if it's no matter if it's a startup, no matter if it's a small business, no matter if it's mid-sized or a large business, the advice I give would be to hire in-house. Okay, stop going to these marketing companies, stop going to these agencies. that have, their niche is small business, stop going to them and hire in-house. Okay, because one of the things when you hire in-house is the greatest thing is you're training them on your business, on your product. They know your brand, they're there 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. So they get to know your company, your products, your brand. They get to know your copy and sales copy. They get to know you so they can help you with your brand, because it's all about you and your personality, what you want to reach out to people, properly communicate and stuff like that. So when somebody works with you in-house, they're going to see all that. The longer they're with you, the more you're going to get out of it. The longer marketing is with you, a marketing person's with you, the longer, the more they're going to be able to help your business. When you go to an agency or an agency type company, the thing is, you have to understand is that they have an array of clients. I mean, most of these agencies have 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90 clients a month. Okay, every single month. These are realistic numbers, and they have a very lean team. So you have to always think that, well, if you have 90 clients a month, you're trying to scale your company as well. Well, when they're trying to scale, they're giving you the same advice that they're giving all their other clients. They're giving you the same advice as they're giving your competitors. And most of the time, they're sharing that information that they shouldn't be sharing. That does happen. It happens more frequently than you think. So it's really an employee mentality at this point. Because they're not focused on you. An agency isn't focused on you. They're just about getting as much stuff done, working as fast as possible on your stuff, or doing just enough so you don't complain about it, or you don't micromanage them, you don't want to fire them. They just do just enough where you want to pay them every single month. But it's really the same advice. That's why most people that go to agencies, they don't get results. That's about it. Nothing's getting done. They're not getting results. Now I can be honest and I can say, I can defend the agency side. I mean, sometimes to get results, sometimes it takes longer to get results, especially with digital marketing and SEO. Because these are things that, especially SEO, it's more of a slower process to build up an organic following. Does it happen overnight? Does it happen in 1 week? Does it happen in 1 month? So, I mean, that's one thing to kind of give these marketing agencies. But, even if I've been with agencies where the client's been with them for 6 months and they've literally done nothing for them for 6 months. And this is a client paying every single month, because they fool them with all the reports and sales reports and SEO reports and all the stuff that goes into it, to kind of milk it along, but literally just nothing being done. So that's kind of spin this around, kind of wrap this up. That's why I always kind of suggest hire in-house if you can afford an agency. And I mean like an agency that's really going to charge you $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month. Well, if you can afford that, you can afford to hire someone in-house, or at least you can hire someone part-time in-house. You're going to get way better results hiring someone part-time that comes in 10 hours a week, 15 hours a week, pay them $2,000 a month. You're going to get way more out of that than taking that money and giving it to an agency. Okay, the agency's playing around too much. There's too many games. There's too many ways to fool you. Okay, especially if you don't know SEO, digital marketing, and there's just too many ways, too many things to fool you and kind of get away with stuff. There's too many games being played. There's too much, you don't know how long I've really worked on my stuff. I could have done something that looked super hard, but it took me 10 minutes, but I told you it took me 2 hours. You know what I mean? So when you hire in-house, you're more in control. You're more in control of what they're doing and so forth. And the longer someone's in-house with you, the better it becomes for you. Because the more they know about you, your product, your brand, the more copywriting, sales copy across the board, your marketing, your brand should be getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and getting stronger even organically. But that's what I would suggest. But anyway, that was just the kind of thing I wanted to share with you, thing I was kind of thinking about today. So I thought, I'd shoot out a video and kind of share that thought. But anyway, I'll see you in the next episode of SEO BS.